And as I did promise earlier on, Lady Perry Aritua, the ED for Women in Democracy, is live for us and with us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. There are concerns across the board, as you did hear in our story, that nomination fees charged by political parties seem to be on the high end, and this could lead in limiting the participation of some within the electoral democracy in the country. What is your view to that end?
Thank you, Samson. The high nomination fees is actually employed to exclude a number of candidates, especially women candidates and youth candidates. This country needs fresh ideas. It needs new faces. We have a number of new problems. Now, if you're excluding young people and you're excluding women through the high nomination fees, then we remain with the same old guards, and then the same problems continue to manifest. And so for me, it's a way of exclusion of young people and women from contesting for electoral office.
Isn't it also true that these hopefuls who do have a fan base can actually crowdsource this money from their fan base and then submit it as a way of knowing the level of their aspiration?
Of course, that would be one way, but we know that the poverty levels in this country are high, and most Ugandans are still not attuned to the importance of raising funds to support their candidates. Maybe it's also an opportunity for us to continue to urge Ugandans that if you support a candidate, make your contribution so that you enable this candidate to run for election.
Well, the money charged, or the money paid to the Electoral Commission, as we did here, goes to the National Treasury. And yet the same Electoral Commission is struggling with funding. How can the Electoral Commission benefit from the money it collects from its candidates?
You see, it's Parliament that appropriates funds to the Electoral Commission. And the PRO of the Electoral Commission was actually right to say that it's not them who set the nomination fees. So it's important for Parliament to give a realistic budget to the Electoral Commission, bearing in mind the different activities that need to be implemented during this time. One of the downsides we are seeing right now is the very low voter education, and part of it maybe is funding. So we need to ensure that Electoral Commission gets money, and that is the role of Parliament. Parliament really needs to appropriate resources so that we're able to see a higher level of voter education and also other electoral activities, bearing in mind the number of young people who have just been registered and who want to participate in the next election.
But by no means least, somebody wants to run for president, can't raise 20 million, surely?
For president, usually it's a little easier, but for members of parliament who are the majority in terms of representation, there may be difficulty. But for the president, that money can actually be raised because most of the candidates who run for president come from political parties. Of course, there are few independents. So the 20 million for president may be one which may not be so contestable, but for member of parliament, that money is too high. Bear in mind the number of young people and women who want to run for that position.